As we all know, the firearms community can be one of the most judgmental, drama-filled communities out there, especially on the internet. And what I want to talk about is avoid judging somebody because of the thing. It's something we do a lot, and it's almost became a accepted behavior in the gun community. What I'd like to use an example is one of the most controversial and most hated brands out there amongst the firearms community. And that's this, the High Point. It is, after all, a thing. It's not as nice of a thing as this thing, but it's still a thing. There's a lot of High Points out there, $100 to $150, sometimes a little bit more. And they are what they are. Real cheap, inexpensive handguns that go bang. And a lot of people buy them. The most common thing I see on internet forums and on YouTube and even in real life, it's happened to me at the range quite a bit, is when somebody has one of these and they want to talk about it, or they get out there and they're just wanting to shoot it, they just bought it and they just want to shoot it, is you get other people that all of a sudden start to judge that person because of the thing. They immediately look at the person, oh geez, look at him, all he's got is a High Point. Guy must be new to the world of shooting, doesn't know what he's doing, he's such a noob, I can't believe he'd buy such a piece of crap. What an idiot. A lot of people have thought that. Now, why would you want to judge somebody on the thing? It doesn't make sense to me. It's almost grade school level type stuff. The reason I use the High Point is because, honestly, it's one of the most controversial firearm makers out there right now. These things, a lot of people love them, and a lot more people hate them, just because of the fact that they're inexpensive. They say everything from things blow up, they don't work, they're pieces of crap, if you buy one, you're stupid, yada yada. There's all these excuses in the book. And honestly, I can't help but wonder, why would people say that to other people? It's just a thing. It is what it is. Honestly, in my honest opinion, even if your handguns are all high-end handguns, I say everybody should buy one of these. If anything, they are made in the U.S. You are supporting a U.S. owned and operated company, and they're cheap, $100 to $150. You're supporting the Second Amendment. Besides, let's not get into the discussion that it's a great, utility gun, backpacking gun, because you don't have to worry about scratching it up. It's only $100 to $150, and they work. So honestly, I think everybody should have one. Just because of those main two reasons. It's made in the USA. You're supporting a U.S. owned and operated company. And it's cheap. Why not? Most of the gun nuts that are on my channel, they certainly wouldn't mind another gun in the house. Even if it's just a cheap little play gun like this. Why not? But a lot of people I've even seen out there are afraid to buy these. And it's not because of stories of, hey, they blow up or they're unreliable. It's because they're afraid of being judged. And I hear stuff like that and I'm like, that is the stupidest thing ever. I could not believe that. You're afraid to buy a handgun because you're worried that you're going to be judged by your peers. That's exactly one of the reasons I have these. People are like, why in the world do you do High Point videos on your channel? You got so many other guns. Why do you waste time with a High Point? Because I can. Because I choose to. Because I want to show that, yeah, these things do work for what they are. They're not, military guns or law enforcement guns by any stretch of the imagination, but they certainly work, and they can do basic self-defense work. And I want to break the stigma out there. I want to break the stigma that no, not all High Point owners are just, hillbillies, or they don't know what they're doing. Because I guarantee, no, I'm not the best shot out there, but I can definitely hold my own. And I can outshoot a lot of guys with this cheap little High Point. and I've done it on the range before. I've done it with high .9 millimeters, I've done it with 40 calibers, and I've done it with 45s. And it's actually fun to do because I know I'm breaking that stigma. It's just a gun. That's all it is. It's just a $100 gun. I've experienced actually a little bit even on my channel here recently with my cheap bolt-action shotgun. You know, that thing's an $80 gun. It's old. It's from the 50s. It only chambers 3 rounds. Max capacity. It's a little bit slower than a pump. But then I get out in the range and then I show a video that, yeah, it can be worked reasonably fast. Some people go, huh, maybe that gun isn't such a piece of crap. You know, it is what it is. That's one of the reasons I own this stuff. It's just to show people, hey, there's budget options out there and you don't need to be afraid to own these things. Also, on that note, is I've seen a lot of closet high point owners, and these guys are hilarious. They go out and they buy a high point and they shoot a high point, and they'll be at the range shooting a high point, and then somebody will come up and question them, and then they'll immediately put the high point down and go, oh yeah, I got it, but yeah, it's a piece of crap, yada, 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 all this stuff. But yeah, they took it out to the range, and they're sitting there smiling with their family shooting it, but when somebody comes up, they all of a sudden act like they don't like it. I say be honest. If anybody says, dude, do you like high points? Yeah, I do. For what they are, they're great. And if they look at me and go, oh, you're crazy, well, you know what, that's fine too. I couldn't care less. But anyway, at the risk of getting too lengthy here in this little rant, the biggest thing I implore everybody watching this video is don't judge other people based on things. That is one of the problems in the gun community. You judge people on things. You immediately look at somebody that has something like this, and you say, well, this isn't this. You're an idiot for buying this and not this. You know, don't do that. That turns away a lot of people from the gun community. This is just as bad as other people who get on and make videos about being trained in gunfighting, but then going to other channels and going, well, you guys suck, you haven't had any training, but I have. That drives a lot of people away from the world of firearms, because that's just a real elitist attitude, and some people are like, you know what, if this is what the world of firearms is like, I'm not interested. I'll go do my own thing. And that doesn't need to happen. Just remember, don't judge the person based on the thing. You know, it's great to debate about stuff like high points and old surplus guns and all that stuff. It's great to debate about it. You know, talk about quality issues and this and that and the other thing. But when you start judging people on it, that's when I think the line is crossed. That's when I think you're doing the gun community a disservice rather than a service. So, in any case, it's kind of a rant, I guess. I hope you guys got the point of this video. You know, I guess the bottom line is probably, you know, if you feel the urge to make fun of somebody that owns something like this, or it doesn't have to be this, it could be a Jimenez or a, you know, like a bolt-action shotgun or a single shot, or, you know, whatever they have. If you got the urge to kind of poke fun at somebody, think about what you're doing for a minute. Think about it and think about whether, is that person really new to the world of firearms? Because if so, you're turning them away from the world of firearms. Or there's always a chance that person could be somebody like me that's been around the block for a little bit. I'm certainly not the best out there, but I've definitely been around the block a little bit. It could be somebody like me that might be shooting this, but I have this tucked away in an inside the waistband holster. And believe me, this has come out already at the range. I'm shooting something like this, and somebody says something like, oh, you should get a Glock like mine. And then I completely turn around the conversation, and I start shooting this all of a sudden and go, yeah, that Glock's kind of got a crunchy trigger. You should get a SIG. You should get a high-quality gun. It's amazing what happens when you turn the conversation around like that. But all right, that's enough talking. I'm about ready to hit 10 minutes. I don't want to bore you guys. So just think about it. It's great to debate, but don't be, you know, making fun of people just because of the thing. So, all right, thanks a lot for watching, and keep it safe.